How's it going? It's Greg from Kaos Design Company. Today we're going to show you how to install the Jeep tailgate kit that goes on the Gladiator. Right now it comes in gloss black. What you'll need is, actually when you buy the kit, it's going to come with one logo, directions, a squeegee. On these directions there'll be a QR code you can scan to get you to this video. We're going to have a second option for this kit which includes the wrap portion. So what will happen is you'll get two pieces of wrap. One piece is big enough to do the tailgate itself, and then the under the piece will be able to wrap around where the taillights are. They're both 60 inches long, so 120 inches of vinyl should get you where you got to go. Alright. Also in that kit you're going to get wrap cut tape, which I'll show you how to use in a minute. So for this install, we'll start with just the Jeep emblem. What you'll need is alcohol, clean rags, tape measure, tape, sharp razor, and that'll get you done. Your first thing you're gonna have to do is remove the camera. I have the tailgate off the truck just because it's easier, because the weather's not that great around here right now. So once you get your tailgate prepped, remove your camera. I have another video I could probably post and show you how to get the emblem off, how to get the camera off, and so on and so forth. But for now, this is what we're going to do. So this tailgate's been wrapped 3 or 4 times already, so there's glue that I had removed already. But what you do is just clean up your tailgate. Alcohol is your best friend. Make sure you get around the edges of the tailgate. On this one, I have some yellow tape here to show me where my wrap's got to go back, because I know I'm trying to match it up with the tail lights. So that's just for me. With you, you're going to probably do the whole thing in one shot, go right around. There's another video I have that shows you that portion with the corner wraps. So I could also put a link to that. So the first thing I'm going to do is take our logo, and I'm working upside down, so bear with me. Alright, there's guide pin holes here and here. Imperative that you cover those. So I'm just going to eyeball it right now and just put it down. On the directions, it'll show you, it's the simple directions, just measurements. Left to right, up and down. So left to right, you're going to measure off this little stem of the J, and the measurement is 14 9/16. Now for people that aren't that great with a tape measure, it's 14 1/2 and one little notch. Alright? I've been working with tape measures for a while, so I know what that entails. So 14 9/16. Alright, now top to bottom, you grab the bottom edge of the tailgate and you go up 7 1/2 inches to the bottom of this J, which I'm dead on there, and a little high on this side. Alright, so 7 1/2 there. Double check this side, make sure it didn't move too much. 7 1/2. 14 9/16. Right, 14 1/2 and one notch. Same thing on this side. So what I do is I'll keep my hand on this in place and just pick it up and see if it looks like it's going to cover that hole. So the hole is right on the edge of this E in the corner. That's one of them. And then the other one is right here on the edge of this E. And they both cover. So we're good to go. This method I'm using is called the hinge technique. So what I'm going to do is just lay a piece of tape right across here, like that. Nothing big. I'm going to put another piece down this end to keep it from swerving as I go down. Alright. Next step is you're going to just pull this back this way, remove the paper backing. You're gonna cut this tape. You just gotta be careful. Don't cut your tailgate. So I put like a really light line through it, Just kind of rip it. I have other tools, but since not everybody carries these tools, I'm not going to go and show you how to use the fancy tools on this. So what you do is now just hinge this over. Just put a little tension on it. Don't yank it. Don't pull it in any direction it doesn't want to go. It should just be in a relaxed position. Lay your squeegee down like this and just come straight across. Boom. That way, that way. And squeegee it up. You want to try to get in one sweep. That way you don't trap any air in between. I'll show you on this side. So once it's in place, like once it's taped down, it really can't veer off course too much. You know, it's going to go where it needs to go, not where you want to try to force it. So again, we just peel the paper backing off. And again, just a little tension, just to keep it from laying down, and you come straight across. Boom. The E is down, the J, and we're done. That's it. Not too complicated. Now you just take your release liner, or carrier, whatever you want to call this, mask, and pull it straight back on itself. Right back flat. And that way, and just go slow. Make sure you don't pick up any edges of the letters in case you didn't squeegee them great. And that's it. It's on. Put your tailgate back on your truck and you're good to go. Alright, so now, since that's done, I am going to move on to step 2. If you buy the second stage of the kit, which includes the wrap vinyl, it comes with, again, the vinyl cut tape. Now this tape is a little funky, so what it does is, you're not going to be able to see it, but the string is on one edge of the tape. Alright, it's not in the center, it's on one edge. So, since our wrap is going to go from this edge to this edge, I want to have that string closest to where the wrap is going to lay. And I'll show you why in a minute, because it gets a little funky. Alright, so one thing you want to do is get that string right to the edge where you exactly want that cut to be. So if it's going to be on this edge, that's where you want it to be. Now I'm just following the natural body line of this tailgate. Alright, so I'm just going to, you give yourself a couple inches overhang, 3 inches or so. Of course you're going to have to cut this tape and then pop that string out. So anyway, slide this back over. I kind of like doing mine in a long line so I can lay it down nice and straight. Alright, so once you get it laid down, just go back over it with your finger, nice and easy. The tape can slide, so you kind of maybe want to pat it down and then go back and smooth it all out in one shot. This tape is hard to rip by hand, so don't try it. You might cut yourself. It's got a filament in there. It's like a string. There's different brands of it. This is the only one I could find that would sell short lengths. I like the 3M tape, but I can't get in short lengths and to provide in a kit. So now, do the same thing with the bottom. I have my tape marks from my previous wrap. The tailgate has a slight curve to it, as far as up and down, like a little curvature that goes like this, like kind of. So I'm going to try to follow that line as best as possible. I kind of recommend that you take it to a professional to do. It can get a little tricky. I've been wrapping cars for 20 years just about. Let me see. I shouldn't say 20 years. But damn close to it. Alright. So now our vinyl's in place. The Jeep emblem's in place. Our next move is we're going to use, I have a vinyl that I've been using on my tailgate. It's kind of like a rough textured vinyl. Looks like kind of looks like a bed liner. That's what it kind of mimics. So let me go back with my bed liner. It's very hard to get this material now. I haven't been able to find it really. This is like the last piece I had. So I'm gonna, because I have to match my stuff. If it comes out, I'll offer it in a kit. Again, it was out for a while, but due to supply chain shortages, it's hard to get. Here's this little tool I use to cut my paper backing. Alright, so basically what you want to do is get your vinyl kind of where you want it lined up. Alright, take this, fold it back. Make sure you cover your wrap tape. You want to make sure when you put this vinyl in place, you're kind of where you need to be set up. And put a little tension on it. I like to stick the corners, like stick them up. So now it's like kind of tight right through here. And I'm going to grab, I'm going to fold it back under. You can roll it back if you want. Grab that paper, pull it straight across. This stuff is so great that you can just like lay it on itself, and it won't. It kind of sticks. You know, it really doesn't stick. It's got like a technology built into it that it doesn't stick down. So you can kind of lift it up, reposition it. All right. So again, just pull a little foot, the corners. Because what I'm going to do is, you're going to see, is when I start, I'm going to start in the middle. I got a little crinkle on my vinyl here. I should have probably got that out before I started. Right. So let me see if I can heat that out. Another good thing you're going to need is a heat gun for when you're doing a wrap portion of this. Heat guns definitely help. Alright, so I'm going to go and heat this all. Just where the Jeep emblem is though. You kind of get heat on it, it gets crinkly, then it kind of smooths out. You'll see, you know, it starts off a little wrinkled, but once it gets the right temperature, it kind of smooths itself out. I'm going to start over here, I'm going to roll it up and down, try to get rid of that air. Since there's a dip in the J here, I'm going to start with that pocket and kind of come across it. Alright, and just do the same thing throughout. Alright, there's an E, the E has a hole in it, so maybe we want to try to get the air out of that hole in the E. You know, really concentrate on that area. Push it down. Coming up on another E. Same thing. Don't get too close with the heat, maybe 8 inches or so away from it. And just keep rolling across. Alright, so now we're at the P. What I'll do is, you know what? I'm going to throw on a wrap glove, because this may be another alternative to using a roller. So it's just a low friction glove. So when you get into the hole here, area here, just get in there, just push it through. Try to get that air out of the hole, you know, to the outside, and then just work it. One thing with wrap vinyl is very forgiving. So, you know, if you can manage to do this just with the glove, then you'll be in good shape. Alright, so the lettering's done. That's the place you really want to concentrate on first. Now you're going to get into the actual wrap itself. When it comes to the wrap, you don't need heat anymore, because everything's stretched. You don't need any more stretching going on. Just work all the air out towards the edges. What's good with wrap vinyl is if you get any air caught, you can usually pop it back up. Like right here, I'll trap some air. Alright, so you got this big bubble. What you do is just grab your vinyl, pop it up, and just work that air bubble right out. Try not to block them anymore. If you do get little bubbles that are trapped, like little tiny ones, like I'll make a bubble right there. I don't know if you can see that, but you have an air bubble, just press on it. Oh, They usually go away, usually. Alright, maybe not today. Alright, so here's a perfect example. Oh. Run that bubble out. Just reset the vinyl. And that's it. Anything like these little crinkles here, just pop it back up and work it out. When working with wrap vinyl, they have sayings like pulling glass. So you pull it so it's smooth as possible with as least amount of wrinkles as possible. Therefore you have less wrinkles to work with. So you kind of work that all out. Gloves are great because you can really, you can get the feel of the vinyl. Smooth everything out to where it's got to be. Alright, and we'll trap there here and there. But the more consistent you are with squeegeeing, or crossing out, or out both ways, the better. Working it across towards the edges. Don't be scared to pop it back up. That's pretty much it. It's looking pretty tight. Alright, so now when it comes to this tape, slide this down a little bit. Alright, so we're going to have quite an overhang here. We don't need that much vinyl, so make sure you don't cut your tape. I'm just going to take off. I'm going to leave about a ½ inch of vinyl. That's more than enough to wrap around the edge. It's actually too much. I'll show you. We'll trim it later on. But I did say a sharp razor, right? Alright, so with this tape, like I said, the string is all the way to one side. I have it towards the inside because that's where I want my cut edge. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a little tiny slice into the tape. Not to cut, I'm going to cut up to the string, but not the string itself. Alright, so what that's going to do is, it's now going to release that string from under the tape. Now what I'll do here is, you don't want to just yank because it's not going to cut, so I'm going to put my finger over and like pinch it, pinch and pull, and it comes straight across. My wife just got home. So there, that's one cut. Come back, grab my razor. And you just pull this off. The tape comes out from underneath the vinyl with it. It's a nice clean cut. Smooth that down. And then you're going to do the same thing with the other side. I'm going to find wherever the tape went to. Kind of curled under. Actually, you know what? We'll start on the other side. That one's a little too small. Again, give yourself a ½ inch cut or so. Again, you know, if you bring it to a professional to do, you just got a better chance of not going to screw something up. You can always call me. My number is on there if you have any issues. Again, you're going to just fold that over, pinch it, and get that string out from underneath the vinyl, underneath the tape. When the string gets to the vinyl itself, put your finger over so it makes a clean cut, and just give it a little tug, and then go straight across. just pull nice and straight. If you pull crooked and jagged, you might get a crooked, jagged cut. Let's see here. Alright, so start back on this side. Tape and vinyl at the same time. You can see how it's stuck to the back of the vinyl, which is what we want. Smooth it out, make sure you push down your edges. Alright, next thing is we can cut the camera hole out. Now you can either trim it heavy and just fold it in, or you can trim right to the edge. It's not going to make a difference. I'm going to go right to the edge. Since it's protected behind the camera, the chances of water getting under the wrap are pretty slim. I've had my tailgate wrapped for about 2 years, and it's never gave me any problems. I'm going to make 2 little slices here, and just push those in because these are like little tab areas. When you put the camera back in, there's little plastic tabs that kind of work into those areas. And that vinyl fell right through, so we're good. Alright, so now the edges. Edges are pretty easy. A little heat. Heat them up. Get this piece of tape down there. And just fold them over. I just run my finger right over them. Pull them around however you want to do it. And just tuck them. Same thing here. Just heat them up. Heat helps this vinyl a lot, like when it comes to conforming. This vinyl is a little bit thicker than a regular wrap vinyl that is included with the kit. But it's still fairly easy to work with. Then what you do is just take a squeegee, use your felt end, and just run right around the edges. Push it in there. A good idea is they call this post heating. You really need a thermometer to do it, like a heat thermometer or the laser one. Just go back over and heat it down. You don't see anything funky. Just kind of push it down. If your wrap guy does this, he'll know what to do as far as post heating. And that's it, we're all set. Take this, put my little tape marks off of here. That's it, finished product. It's pretty cool, it's unique right now. Kit is just going to get released probably tomorrow, whatever day that's going to be. And we're going to go from there. Also here we got the taillight blackout kits. It's going to be, got the Gladiator, it's going to say Rubicon, Mojave. You can find those also on my site. Alright, well, thanks for hanging out. And enjoy your Jeep.